Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Our producer Samantha is here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Me and Daniel will be at A La Carte this Friday, February 3rd.
What is A La Carte? It is a semi-permanent food truck park that's amazing. They have all the grub and all the delicious Florida beers you would want in a beautiful, curated little park. It's its own little
Imagine
park.
an awesome bar with the back patio being semi-permanent food trucks.
It's almost like standing in one of the best backyards ever that you just get to walk around in and drink beer. Well, we're going to be there this Friday. Come hang out with us and have a cold
7
beer.
o'clock, right?
7 o'clock.
We'll head there after the show.
Yeah.
I believe
Well, it's 7 o'clock
Saturday.
now. When he says it, I just follow him to hell.
And then
Have
the
you ever noticed
following
that?
day.
Is it 7
Have
or
you
is
ever
it
noticed
6?
that? I want to point something out that makes
I think
me.
it's 6.
I want to point something out that
Tracy.
makes me the greatest host partner.
It's 5:30. God damn it.
Hold on, 7 is but 7's when it really. We'll be there at 5:30. Hold on, see, I never
Okay,
let you
all
look bad. This is what I was pointing out. The whole idea about my follow me to hell attitude that I have is that I'm here to make him look good. I'm never here to make him look bad. If he says 7 o'clock, I'm going to go absolutely 7 o'clock.
5:30.
5:30 it is. Hey, it's I'll follow you to hell too. It's 5:30.
Do people still get off of work at 5?
A lot of people do, yes.
Look,
my husband does.
Look,
Okay.
me
Most of the
and
time.
Tracy talked about this, and she asked what time, and I said, well, I don't know. You don't want it to be too late. Then it's a night event. You want it to be like a beer pop-in, right? And I said 5:30, and she's like, that sounds great.
So on your way home from work.
But then I also question it. I'm like, do people get off at 5? I think people now are always working. Most people I know roll in around 8:30 from work. Then you eat dinner around 9.
What? That's late as hell.
Most people I know are always working. Like, I don't know. Where we get off, like, what time do you get done? I'm like, 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Well,
I'm at
we're the
Planet
anomaly, I
Fitness.
think.
I'm at Planet Fitness taking a shower.
Well, it seems like a lot of work hours became willy-nilly with the work at home and certain jobs now.
Well, then you
it
just
seems
drink
like
at home. You just drink while you work.
You're coming into work and then out, unless you're doing like a retail or a fixed, business hour deal.
And retail, I mean, that's a different thing, right? You're looking for customer service now, not necessarily the product. So.
A La Carte
Yeah,
Friday.
That's right.
5:30, not 7
And
like
then
Tom said, 5:30.
we're going to be at the Solar Bears game. It's tie-dye night on Saturday.
How
February
angry
4th.
does tie-dye night make you?
No, I have nothing against tie-dye. I just don't like wearing
I'm
it.
going to look like Carrot Top's nephew. I'm going to have so much tie-dye on. You just wait, buddy. It's going to be awesome.
Did you watch football over the weekend, guys?
A little bit.
I watched when the Bucks
popping
are
in and
out,
out.
you don't care, right? Like your team's not there. It's
Well, I
like
was just doing a lot of stuff.
yeah, you
this
were
weekend.
busy. I watch every single game. I was excited about it, man. I love playoff football. So I got all my snacks ready to go, and I was right there in front of the TV for both games.
Although the first game was pretty boring.
It was garbage.
a blowout.
Yeah. It was a bad. It was more sad than anything else. Like watching the team deteriorate, and then they cut over to the sidelines, and you'd see all Shanahan running his fingers through his face. You know, it's sad.
Well, I mean,
Shanahan.
the
We used to have him. He used to be a Falcon.
the story of this irrelevant Brock Purdy, the last pick of the draft, making it to the Super Bowl was too good to be
Well,
true.
they just
right?
like the story, right?
Well,
They're
I-
going to make the story whatever they need to make it.
Well, it was a good story. I mean, the last pick of the draft, like they have
I was
multiple
most
injuries.
impressed at him throwing the ball with his wrist. That play,
Ah.
oh my God, for the fumble when they call, oh my God.
And then, they have a really good team. It's just when your last quarterback gets injured and you have no one, you bring in Josh Johnson, who is, he and for sure he didn't get that many reps because
No.
they're.
I felt bad for him too.
Everything was dependent on Brock Purdy not getting hurt, I'm sure, and they all knew it. And then when that happened, then they were like, "Oh, maybe McCaffrey will come in." And
Well, that's when I
it's like, it's
turned
done.
the TV
It's
back
done.
up. They're like, well, maybe we'll put in McCaffrey, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'll
Well, guess what? He's not a quarterback.
I'll
And-
watch that, but it's going to be terrible.
Yeah. So then the Eagles advanced to the Super Bowl, and then of course the Mahomes-Burrow game was like everybody wanted to see what was going to happen, and it could have gone either way.
It could have.
I mean, it came down to the last drive, and then a roughing the passer call when the That
What'd you
dude
think of
pushed
that? Yeah.
Mahomes out the back. Well, they call it every time, so it's like
If they call it every time, then they got to call it. I'm with you.
Yeah, that's a either coaching mistake or an individual player. Like you
Lapse
just
of judgment.
when the quarterback's running out of bounds, just don't touch him.
You don't,
because if you touch him, they're gonna call it.
Who was the guy that did that? It was old.
He played good the whole game.
He did. He's got a good name too. I like his name. It's fun to say. I'm blanking on it right now.
Yeah. But anyway, so Mahomes going to the Super Bowl again. Although I was telling Crystal, like when
everybody wants Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, right? Jalen Hurts and the Eagles.
Yeah.
That's who everybody wants to win, right?
Yes.
Who are the meanest fans in the NFL? Is that the Philly fans? Who are the fans that we all hate?
Well,
a lot of people don't like Eagles fans.
But a lot of Eagles fans are around me. Like Christine's an Eagles fan. Martha Sagowski's an Eagles fan. A girl I used to date is an Eagles fan. There's tons of Philly people.
Yeah, but we're not talking. The Philly fans in Philly are the D-heads that are
I
at
think,
the game.
No,
like
I'm sorry. I think you have to say all of them. I think if the bad no, you have to hate them all. If all Eagles fans have a bad name and you call yourself an Eagles fan, sorry, you're a bad person. You have to say it.
They threw batteries at Santa.
Oh my God!
What?
They have a bad reputation in the NFL. Like
be more like the Bills Mafia. There's a sweet memas and good people saving people's lives and helping people.
If you go to an Eagles game in the Eagles Stadium wearing an opposing team's jersey, you're going to get yelled at by Philadelphia drunk dads.
Okay.
I just typed in Eagles fans, and the first thing that popped up are the worst. I was going to look up the Santa story.
That's sad. I mean, think about that. That sucks, right? You have a reputation that your fans are garbage. I mean, like, that's not a cool thing to have.
Well,
doesn't help your... How do you think
It's cool if you're in Philadelphia and you're one of them. Yeah.
Because here's my question.
You got the reputation for being the most hardcore fans. You don't want the
Are they the most hardcore? The most hardcore fans I see are Steelers fans.
Well,
the reputation for the
Bills
most
fans.
dedicated fans that I know are Steelers fans. The reputation for worst fans are Eagles. My point is, does the Philadelphia Eagles organization go, hey, we like this? Secretly, do they like that their fans are considered D-heads, or do they hate it and they want to, like, Atlanta fans are known to be like, come on in, have some barbecue. Would you like some sweet tea? They
like it because the Philly has that reputation of, just being real city that
what does that even mean? A real city
that takes their sports seriously, and then they're going to be
you're a
D-heads
disgusting fat piece of crap
to all the opposing teams and the opposing teams fans. Because you don't want the opposite of like the Chargers have the reputation in the NFL of having the most uncaring
fair weather.
Well, no, just they don't care about their team. So when they have games at home, a lot of times the opposing fans will outnumber the home crowd,
and you don't want that.
No, well, that's embarrassing, right? Like when you play a game at home and you have more away fans at your game, that's embarrassing, right?
I'm just wondering if they like it. I would imagine you'd rather have the Bills fans type of reputation. You want to be like good. Well, you don't necessarily want to be bad.
Philly fans will boo their own team, and there is something. I like the entertainment aspect of it because you want the villain fan too. You want the D-head fans that everybody.
Who would be second place behind Philly? Who's another rough place? Where fans are known.
Well, Bills Mafia. They're
rough too, but they just do a lot of good to try and make up for their rough attitude.
Yeah. I think anytime you have
the older franchises,
old school franchise fans,
but Steelers
Packers fans,
I don't hear it about Steelers
nice,
fans. I don't hear it like I get annoyed that there are tons of Steelers fans, but I don't hear the. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't hear the reputation that follows the Philly fans.
They'll spit on you if you're wearing another, something like that.
Horrible.
Yeah, I don't hear that from Steelers either. So
interesting.
And we'll get away from sports in a minute, but
the games are fun. I mean, I literally. When's the last time you could say? Well, it was easy for me. My daughter was dancing all weekend, so I could specifically sit down for the games, and I did, and I watched every minute of them, and one was good and one was bad.
Yeah. But even I expected the Bengals Chiefs game to be more high scoring.
I thought the Bengals were going to win.
They could have.
Very wrong.
Then the weird officiating, and me and Daniel were talking about this. Like, The NFL
They didn't
needs
seem
to
like they knew what they were doing.
They need to spend a lot more money on officials and then take a lot.
Every league does, dude. Biggest complaint in the MLS, biggest complaint in the EPL. I mean, the only place that seems
We
to
need
get
the robots to do it.
only place that seems to get it right is the NHL. They seem to have it all dialed in.
There was one particular play where it seemed, and this is where
2 third downs. Everybody's saying 5 downs. No, we get it.
Well,
we understand.
Well, that's this is where all and I'll see it on TikTok where all the conspiracy theory where the NFL is scripted or everything's rigged. It
like,
comes
look
out
at
of
this right here. And I'm like, oh my god,
Where-
here it goes.
Which is, you make the case where you're like, well, I've never seen that before. I've never seen a play happen, and then them call it back and be like, yeah, it wasn't supposed to happen. Redo. And,
Oopsie.
and
Redo.
and when it would have been a 4th down. Now,
Hold on, I wasn't ready.
Now, when they did all that,
Time out.
it ended up not mattering.
Right.
So then, but the conspiracy theories won't mention the fact that, yes, this did happen, which seems super fishy and like, what the hell? I've never seen this happen before. But then it didn't actually affect the outcome of the game because they punted it off anyway.
Yeah,
so
it
who
only
cares?
matters if it matters.
But it makes a good story for the conspiracy theorists because it is a bizarre thing. Also, back to the Eagles game, when the punt hit the wire
The camera wire. Well, they couldn't determine whether or not it hit
they
the
had no
camera
video
wire.
of it. And then I was telling
Well, then here was my original question. If you can't determine whether it hit it or not, then who was the first person to say it hit it?
Well, everybody on the Eagles sideline was pointing up, and they're like a group of them all together, which
leads me to believe it hit the wire because who's going to say, hey, guys, remember, when they kick it here, to point up, remember, we rehearsed it, point to the wire because we're going to steal some.
When there's
it hit the goddamn wire.
When the punter shanks a punt, everybody point up and say it hit the wire.
That's not, just let's use our brains.
But I was telling Daniel, I'm like, why don't they have some fixed camera that never takes the ball out of view?
And he said there's a chip in the ball, and it blew my mind. I didn't know there was a chip in the ball.
Yeah.
Where have I been?
There's a computer chip in the ball.
Did not know that.
And it's
Is
not
this before or after Deflategate?
no, this is
I've never heard any of this.
either.
Man, I didn't know there was a chip in the ball. It blew my mind.
What we only heard about it after
Well, the chat room's clowning me because I have a big jug of water now that I'm drinking out of because I'm trying to stay hydrated because I'm buff, bro. It's 72 ounces.
I mean, you don't have
72 ounces of creatine right there. That's all creatine right there.
You can have a smaller glass and just refill it multiple times.
I don't like doing that.
Like
You know
the big
why?
jumbo.
You know why? Because I won't drink it. This keeps me accountable so I can see what I drank. I got to drink the big jumbo.
Yeah, well, just know that you have to drink
this
5
is
minis.
This is 600 grams of protein I'm holding in my hand. It's thick.
Just drink 5 little waters
No,
instead of one big jumbo. It looks goofy.
Maisie bought me this.
Also, it makes you look smaller, like you're an elf. Seriously, it makes you look like you're.
I am an elf. My doctor told me I gotta hydrate because I'm on all these goddamn back pills. I passed out. I passed out in Maisie's desk chair on all these pills. I passed out in her desk chair where I was 3D printing. My wife had to come wake me up.
Oh God, you're turning the Jeff Conaway.
I am. I'm turning into Jeff Conaway.
I knew this would happen. That's
I'm having a good. I'm up though. I'm having a good flare.
We'll get a lot of entertainment, and then we're off.
Wait till I get
Wait
till I get the back surgery. Oh, you've seen nothing left. Nothing yet.
Good thing
Wait till I get a port where I can just pump my own pain pills into there. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'll will you into the desk. It would be fun.
The whole chat room,
you
everyone
can
is
set-
clowning me about trying to stay hydrated. Just because, look, I got myself Maisie would approve of this because she's an athlete now. This is a blender bottle hydration series carbon. Hydration series carbon.
Again,
I've already consumed like 30 ounces of my 72-ounce goal. Wait, I got to do 160 ounces. You're supposed to drink an ounce for every pound you weigh, right?
I don't know.
I think you're supposed to drink an ounce of water for every pound you weigh.
I know nothing of
I got to
health.
drink 160 ounces of water a day because my doctor says I'm dry inside.
Oh.
Yeah, I got dry.
some extra water ain't gonna do nothing. I'm just
Wow.
Only thing that works is fentanyl. You're gonna have to do some water.
Well,
and
you
some straight.
give me the fentanyl. I'll drink 72
You're
ounces
drinking
of
like
fentanyl.
muscle milk now.
Yeah, this guy, he's drinking.
I don't know what's going on in this studio now.
What? I'm just trying to hydrate myself, and then you guys are gonna clown on me.
You brought your lunch.
Because my wife says I got to bring my lunch. I'm wasting money. I go over there to $9 a sub every single day.
Yeah, but that's been going on for 15 years.
Yeah, I added it up. It was $72,000 I wasted on
It's a lot.
subs.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it,
What are you
Brady.
gonna do?
I brought a little salad.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
guys
yeah.
are clouding me. I'll do it for 2 days and it'll fade away. Don't worry about it.
Anyway, I wanted to ask you guys about what you think Brady's going to do because I have a theory, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he can't
So-
go do commentary because Olsen's better than he'll ever be.
Well, he was looking at private schools in Miami, right?
Greg Olsen is way better than Brady
Well-
will ever be, and he doesn't. His hair is not as good. Greg Olsen looks so awesome. That guy looks like a Lego man.
So, Miami Dolphins are already out. They've already announced they're out on. They're bringing
Does he
back
just
Tua.
retire and live in Miami then?
No, well, he could also play in Tampa and have his kids go to school in Miami. So that's
True.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't see him now anyway.
yeah. I mean, well,
What's
I mean,
the difference?
How hard
We
is it to
see-
tell your son to not eat a strawberry via the phone?
it's a
How many
regular.
kids does he have?
100.
I think it's four.
I think it's 4.
2 with his prior wife, and then 2 with Giselle,
Yeah,
maybe.
The prior wife, the way he left,
Um,
that was chef's kiss.
So I have a theory, though. Okay,
He's
so
a great guy.
he's not going to Miami Dolphins, so there's really only a couple other options. Back to Tampa, which everybody says that is unlikely at this point. Although
So
it
what
may
are
be
they
his only
saying?
option.
I know nothing
Yeah,
of this. So
I
I'm
just
interested.
I consume a lot of this. So
I know, so I'm interested because this is the first time I've heard of this. The thing that it left with me was Miami, the
No.
kids going to the Miami school, and then the last rumor I heard was possible Miami, and you're saying that's
no,
not going to happen.
that's not happening.
All right.
So although even him looking at Miami schools,
Giselle is living in Miami.
yeah,
But that would make sense.
makes me think that
Be cordial with your wife, your ex-wife, and kids. Don't be a d-head.
And also, it's not moving his family wherever he's going to next. He's just going, like, when he goes and
I
plays.
think she wants to live there, so that's
Yeah.
where the kids will be
Yeah.
at.
I mean, he has a private jet. He could fly back, whatever it's not, he doesn't have to move to the
Right.
place
It's
he
not like
plays
us.
in.
It's like I got to borrow the car to drive him up to daycare.
So it's either Tampa again, Carolina, which I can't see, or Vegas, all right? Because Carolina and
nothing.
Vegas. Or nothing. Now,
He should
here's,
retire.
He should.
here's why I don't think he will retire.
I don't think
because
he will either.
at this point, he's already missed the window of his best possible retirement,
Yeah.
which
He did it.
which would have been
he did it.
after he won the Super Bowl
He
with
did
Tampa.
Yeah.
And then he came back.
And then he could have retired, and then that would have been
Go out on top.
the
yeah.
best bookmark to his career possible. Now that didn't happen, right? Because he wanted to go again and again. So now I'm looking at what if he just kept playing as long as possible to set the record, because if he ends up playing for another 2 years, he'll probably be, it'll be the oldest quarterback of all time that maybe ever would play, right? I don't see
Okay,
another.
hold on.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So not only you win the most Super Bowls and have the most playoff victories or whatever, but he could possibly be the oldest. He already is.
I'm glad to
but
hear you say this. 'Cause
no one would ever beat that.
I have a scenario where yes, I think that, and also he's kind of trying to do what he did at Tampa, right? Where he's going to try to find the best scenario, fit himself in there so he can be competitive. And once he's competitive,
Now
I'm not saying it's going to happen, but once he's competitive, he feels like he can win the Super Bowl. Like if he thinks he can get a competitive team, I believe he thinks he's smart enough with his game management skills to get them to the Super Bowl through using other people, through just maybe getting the calls because he's Brady. I'm just saying what he feels. I'm not saying
It could be,
it's real.
And you're right, he could feel that way, but if he's smart, like I think Tom Brady is, and knowledgeable enough with how the NFL works, I think now the opportunity of him going to a team that has really good setup is gone, because no team wants an old man Brady at this point, because he cannot evade the rush anymore. He can't even buy himself a second, because he doesn't have the quickness because of his age, right?
Yeah.
So we've seen that before. That's what happened this time. So he has to throw the ball super quick, but he could play on teams that don't give him a chance to win anything, but would still count for another season of playing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now, could he be?
Some old man retired.
Could he be just because
Well,
after he
that
does
would-
retire, if
now
he played for a
I-
couple more years, and even if he has losing records,
I
he
can't see
could
him
be
doing
the
that.
oldest
Yeah, no.
quarterback ever to ever play,
Yeah,
because
I
no
see
other.
what you're saying.
I don't
you know what
think
I'm saying?
he-
Give
no.
it up, old man.
I don't think he can do that, though.
Because if he ends now,
No, I don't-
then it's like a fizzle out.
No, I don't think
Yeah, well,
waits.
that's on him.
I don't
He made
think,
his choice.
I don't think he's the type of guy that will wait until all the meat falls off his bones just to get one more record. No, I don't think he would do that.
But what is the advantage of retiring now? It fizzles
There is
out.
none. But
Live your life.
but
Live
also,
your goddamn life.
Also, to not go
What-
after a record that maybe people like. There's ways to get that record where people look at it like it's great, and there's ways to get that record where it's you were just doing this to get the record, right?
Well, I don't know.
He'd have to perform in order to
Memory
get the
faith,
oldest
people-
quarterback. He would have to I think he'd have to perform because people right now are just picking his bones.
Listen, in 20 years, everybody's going to look at like all-time running back rushing yards and see Frank Gore's name up there, and then think like, "Oh man, he must have been awesome." And we
I
all
don't think
watched
that
Frank
now,
Gore
no.
and then he just played for longer than everybody in that position, and that's why.
I don't think people think that though. I think you're flawed in your thinking. I don't think people look at that and go, "Wow, Frank Gore." I think they look at your Emmitt Smiths. I think they look at the people. They look at the people they know.
We do because we saw it, but I'm saying
Barry Sanders,
the
Emmitt
future history is in the stats.
I mean, who knows? I mean, I just don't see people going and looking at the guys that, wow, that guy, like who remembers the hockey player that's played the longest? Nobody.
Well, it's in some record book
It is,
somewhere.
but I'm just saying nobody cares. It's a record that I don't see him going after because it's a record that nobody truly cares. It's the worst, best record.
I looked at it like, all right, if he retires, like there's no team he can go to at this point that gives him a chance to win the Super Bowl. It just isn't. That's gone out the window. Now you could say I'm sure he can play another year on the Bucks, but you saw what happened this year. It's not going to get better. You know what I'm saying?
May have gotten worse.
So it's not going to get better. And that may be his only opportunity to stay with the Bucks at this point because he already has a relationship with the receivers and stuff, and like you're already going to a new system, a new coaching system, a new players. And maybe it's too far gone. It's like that would be really bad.
I don't know. He went to the Bucks and did it once.
But,
I mean, maybe he can do it again.
I mean, he made it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And like most teams don't. So it's like
Atlanta didn't make it to the playoffs. I mean, they're fine. They won the division.
We all look at Brady like he failed this year. He made it to the playoffs.
They won our division, right? They won the NFC South.
Woo.
Didn't the Tampa?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. With a
horrible team and a bad record.
Yeah. But could he win? Could he make it to the playoffs again?
Yeah.
I mean, like, so it's like just keep going at this point. Like at this point, my theory is just keep going. Because
I think you'll get your wish.
What do you have to lose except for it just gets worse and worse? But you still put another year under your belt, and that is
he's got to
impressive.
change his haircut though. If he comes back, he's got to look like a little more evil or something.
Legacy-wise, though, it's like
He needs to flip his like Hulk Hogan when Hulk Hogan went bad. He needs to go bad. He needs a flip. He needs something different.
Oh,
he needs something like a mustache or like he needs something different because we're all like waiting for him to either do good, right, or retire. That's the only option he has, right? Everybody says Brady either come back and start doing the GOAT mode or just retire. But no, there's another option. He gets in there, goes wacky. He got a Dennis Rodman haircut. Act crazy.
Just keep going and see what happens, because then the story will be like he's doing it again. Look, like he's
so you're
46.
Saying there's an opportunity.
47. Could he get it to 50?
4 years. He does 4 years, right?
Could he play to 50?
Let's say he does 4 years.
Because that would
on
be amazing.
Third year, he gets like a Super Bowl with like the Jets.
No, he'll never win a Super Bowl again.
What if he does? What if he does?
He won't. I'll bet.
Is there more caffeine in the Coke Zero than in the Diet Coke?
What?
Because you are going crazy this morning.
I like crazy talk. Yeah, I'll follow him to hell. I like it.
I'll make a sizable bet that he never wins the Super Bowl again.
Well,
I don't think it'll happen.
I think he's coming back.
It physically can't happen because the NFL has changed so much that you need to at least be able to buy yourself an extra second, and he cannot do that anymore. He physically can't. I think he could if he just jumped teams to whoever wanted Brady to sell some tickets,
right,
and just run your career into the ground. But could you play till an insane mark like 48?
No, he would take care of him. Yes,
I think he'll try.
Yes. Yeah, I think he will try.
I want to see him try. Because
I want him to stay.
If he retires now, then it's kind of a fizzle, and it's like, you should have done it 2 years ago because now you're fizzled out. But if he kept going, it would be at least an entertaining story. Like, look at, he's still doing it. Like,
or is it gonna be sad? Like,
it's already
he's
kind of
still
sad,
doing it.
Like, you know what was
you
sad?
you can look at it.
Most of my Bucks fans friends, not Sam, because
It's amazing.
Sam's a good Bucks fan, and her husband as well. But a lot of my Bucks fans friends were like crapping all over him. Bucks fans are mean. You guys are mean. You had the best guy, and you're mean to him because you won the division. You won you won the NFC South. Nothing to worry about. Yeah. And you're still mean to Brady. I'm not a fan, but don't be mean to him.
Well, I mean, there's just fans. You S on the players.
You can't do it.
What
do you do? You big fat slob.
yeah, but that's what fans do. Is you get mad at your team for
losing.
you yell at the Falcons all the time.
Oh, I hate them.
Anyway, also there's another aspect of this where as long as Tom Brady plays, I still feel like I'm not that old yet.
Oh, God. There's the real reason. There's the real reason.
God, you're so selfish. This is all about you.
How long are you going to podcast till, Daddy?
I'll slap that strawberry out of your
Grandpa
mouth.
podcast.
I'll die in this chair. Daniel will die in his wheelchair.
I'm dying in this chair. I can't get out of this chair now.
Because
I need to correct the chat room. They said I'm on pain pills. Are you crazy? They don't give out pain pills. I'm not on pain pills. I wish I was on pain pills.
Yeah. They don't give those anymore.
They don't give those anymore.
But I feel like for all the middle-aged men out there that look at Tom Brady at 45 still playing in the NFL, you're just like, it makes you feel a little bit better. Because once he's gone, then it's like, all right, the next oldest QB is what? Rodgers, 38?
Yeah.
And then it's like, well.
He's just a whack-a-nut. Where's he going?
Yeah, he's under 40. Now you're just like, oh, now we only got some kickers out there. There's no one else.
And that guy's showing his true crazy with his stupid. He's got a Karen haircut. He's taking ayahuasca. That guy looks like a nut job.
Sam, look up the next oldest starting player in the NFL. I bet it's some kicker out there, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Falcons had old Matt Bryant till he was like 40. 46 or something.
Old Seabass played for a while. There's a lot of players that.
The oldest NFL player ever was George Blanda.
Yeah.
He went to 48.
We've looked this up before.
That's the old kicker. I'm saying currently right now, it's Brady is the oldest. That obviously the season's done, so we don't know if he's going to play next year.
No.
But the next youngest has got to be a kicker, right?
It's got to be,
because there's no other QBs north of 40. I think Rodgers
and there weren't any in the playoffs.
Andy Lee is 40.
Who's that, a kicker?
He's on the Cardinals.
Andy Lee
doesn't show their.
It could just be some backup. But other than
he's
that,
a punter.
A punter.
There
okay.
you go. You know what I like?
Then Robbie Gould, who's on the 49ers.
You know what I like? I like punters and kickers when their body shape does not fit their job. Like, I like when you see a big, chubby punt. I like a big, normal punter.
They're all pretty athletic.
No, there's one guy in the NFL. I forget who he is. He's like a black guy, I think, but he's hefty. He's a kicker or punter. He's big. He's looks like any normal guy you'd see managing a Best Buy. And he runs out there, and, man, he kicks it. He kicks the hell out of it. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, so it's Brady, then 2 kickers, then Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, somebody in the chat room is helping me. If you guys could help me out with the name of that guy. I don't mean it mean. I mean it like it's when I see him, I'm like, there he is. That's the guy, because he just looks like any guy. They're like, hey, you manage a Pizza Hut. Get over here. It looks like Craig Robinson from The Office.
And the last thing I wanted to talk about was the ankle injury Mahomes had, because I did lose some money betting on the Bengals because I was like, man, they were talking about how he has a high ankle sprain, and that puts players out for weeks usually, and this guy's going to play. 80% or 70%? I was thinking.
I definitely thought it was going to be the Bengals would come in and just disassemble them. I didn't even know. The last I heard was just some normal sports report. It certainly wasn't anything to the degree of what you listened to, but they were just talking about, like, is he going to play? Well, is he injured? Did he,
They announced he was going to play earlier in the week, and then the lines changed, but they are still announcing the injury as a high ankle sprain, right? So everybody was kind of waiting, and then there's video of him at practice and walking around. Everybody's, like, analyzing every step he takes. They're like, how hurt is he?
Well, he automatically walks weird to begin with. He looked
He's definitely pigeon-toed.
Yeah, he's pigeon-toed, so he
walks
kind of in, and then when you see him run, he kind of floats. He uses it to his advantage. It's kind of nice to watch. When you watch it, it's pleasant.
So then you watch him play, and you're like, well, it seems like it doesn't even bother him at the beginning of the game. Then he started limping a little bit later. But even when he was limping later in the game, like when he took a hard hit and he walked up and he was limping around, and everybody's like, oh, and like I even saw the live odds change and stuff.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, he's limping again. And then, but when he has the ball,
He's fine.
there's no limp. So you're playing. You're like, whoa, is he just like playing it up or like limping? And then like the adrenaline kicks in when he's actually playing because like. And, you know, so there's got to be some of that, right? Is like when you're actually playing, your adrenaline is pumping so much,
Probably,
and so.
Or is it like, a door, when you move it slow, it squeaks, but if you move the door fast, there's no squeak there.
Or does he also know that this is all theater as well, and like this will add to the entertainment factor?
I think there's a soccer
right?
effect on there.
There's
That's what I
soccer
thought.
players,
Yeah.
like the highest level soccer players they'll
It's a technique. It's
be
a
little
mind game.
more ginger
man.
on something like, and then even throughout the weekends, like
You're trying to get the other team to let their guard down because you're signaling them that the best player is hurt.
Or play, if the defense plans all week are like, all right, Mahomes is not going to roll out of the pocket because he cannot run because it's a high ankle sprain.
Right, so we know what to do.
So we know. And then there's mind games and high
I think
ankle.
you're right.
Like you can diagnose a high ankle sprain and it not be that severe, right? Like what is that? I don't even know what that is, by the way. I know, like I know the ankle sprain.
I was told that a high ankle sprain is the type of ankle sprain you get where as long as you are currently moving and playing on it, you're good to go, and it's really not that bad. But when you stop moving, it starts to seize and tighten up, and it gets worse throughout the week, which is why they were sort of signaling that he may not play. They were thinking that it would start to get more and
swell
more.
And stuff.
Yeah, swell and get more and more tight throughout the week. That was what I heard on some radio show.
But they also will wrap the hell out of it with crazy
they'll
professional.
the crap out
But
of it,
then,
right?
yeah.
To keep it from getting inflamed.
You also shoot it with like painkillers and you'll get painkiller and stuff too, right?
He gets pain pills. I'm not allowed.
Well,
old Mahomes, they'll give him anything he needs, but let me need to walk from my car to the studio.
Anyway, so we're looking at a Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl, and the line currently is Chiefs plus 2.5.
Unfortunately, I heard a lot of people saying, I think it's mean. They're like, oh, good, no Brady. I'm like, okay, if you want to be like that. And this is coming from a Falcons fan.
Oh, Brady was out of it at the beginning
I
of the
thought
year.
it would be fun to have him back in there. Do you? Is this? You got money on this? What's it? A point? Eagles -1.
No, Eagles minus 2.5.
Eagles -2.5.
Yeah, so I don't think it's going to move. If it moved to +3, the Chiefs +3, I'd take that all day. But at 2.5, it's just like I don't know. You'd have to look, see what happens. 2 weeks is long enough for Mahomes to
He'll be fine.
Be fine for this game. I believe. I mean, look at what happened in a week. He's played it in a week. So in 2
Although
weeks,
when he walks, not good. When he runs, great. So he's fine.
Although if you look at the stats, which I did this morning when I was looking at the line or whatever, Mahomes has thrown for 44 touchdowns this season, and Jalen Hurts has thrown for half of that. So now Jalen Hurts is a running quarterback, blah, blah, blah. But you look at the quarterbacks here, and just stat-wise, Mahomes is so much better.
He's a beast
this year. And
what do you think about has there been any leak, Sam, on any special guests that might appear in the halftime?
Not that I've heard, but I would imagine there's gonna be because she does a lot of songs with other people.
Yeah,
so.
it's pretty tight-lipped. We could get
That's the most exciting part of the Super Bowl for me this year, honestly.
We could get
for most people.
We could get a Jay-Z. We could get an Eminem.
I don't think Jay-Z.
We could get.
Well, Eminem's not coming back again. He already,
I mean, you never
checked
know.
that box.
You think so?
Yeah, I've never seen a artist do back-to-back halftime shows. Appearances.
Don't know.
I don't think it's never happened.
Blow everybody's wig off if Britney shows up.
Did they do a song?
Yeah.
What was their song?
I can't remember. Let me look it up.
Yeah, that would be pretty rad. Okay, yeah, that would be fun. Rihanna, Britney.
She was on the remix of S&M.
Well, regardless, you can still do it. That'd be cool.
I don't think they
I don't think they do that.
pull Britney Spears out there. I don't know if she. I don't.
That'd be the biggest surprise of all time.
You
Let
think
me
she
ask
could
you
still
guys a
do it?
question. Is Rihanna, even the global...
Britney's not even performing. Is she still
No.
performing?
No.
Even global superstar Rihanna, is that still, when I look at it as a 46-year-old man, I mean, that's more my demo. So that's a dumb old man halftime, right?
Well, they always
have to do that, but I
skew
mean
towards the middle. You know, they can't go
I
too
can't
young.
even think of anybody that they would put in there to try and relate to younger people that would work with Rihanna.
Well,
That's how disconnected I am from pop music, I guess.
They want 25-54, right? The biggest demographic because
Right.
Yep.
they're not gonna have any acts that
Or maybe
middle-aged
she's got
people
enough
can,
hits to do it alone. But you know what's
100%,
sad is
yeah.
I don't know. I only know the biggest of the big because I was never a Rihanna, or excuse me, a Rihanna.
Rihanna.
You're supposed to say Rihanna, like in this one. Sam and I were talking about this, and this one reporter like did a whole thing about it, and then he talked to her, and she's like, "Yeah, my name's Rihanna."
She
But
just doesn't correct everybody.
that'd be close
Yeah.
enough. Rihanna.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I think it's totally different, and I think it's bad that she doesn't correct everybody, right? I think it's weird when you
hasn't
don't
hurt her.
correct
It's just like
people.
Raven Simone. Her actual pronunciation is Raven Simone, but she doesn't correct anybody.
See, I think that's weird.
I did too, but
Like Dr.
much time has
Filatowski,
gone
and then
past.
like, you know,
Yeah,
Filatowski,
exactly.
20 years go by, they're like, no, it's Filatowski.
Filatowski.
I'm like, what? You're blowing my mind.
Yeah.
You can't do that to me.
Well, then to start correcting people later would be weird, but not at the beginning. I think it's fine. It's like because you'll be correcting everybody at all times, so no one's ever going to get it right. So just let them say whatever.
I'm predicting something right now, and if they don't do it, I have to do some sort of a challenge. I am predicting that they will have either men and women of the armed forces, young children, or people that are sick with umbrellas, twirling umbrellas during her song Umbrella.
okay.
I'm saying like a bunch of umbrellas.
Oh, on the field,
They got to do it, right?
Yeah.
That's the easiest thing that will definitely be in there is a bunch of umbrellas held by a bunch of unfortunate people.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, they always have
Kids,
an army of
military,
people on the field
they'll
doing
have-
something.
She should bring Tom
Children.
Holland out to do it with her.
Okay. But they
'Cause
won't.
He had that video where he was doing the lip sync
Yeah,
thing.
it was good, and
Yeah, it was
everybody
good.
loved it. Yeah, everybody loved that Tom Holland thing. Okay, that would be good, but that's so obscure. I feel like.
Is it?
I think so.
I feel like everybody saw that.
I think
Everybody's
everybody's
sharing it
but
crazy.
like, I don't think anybody's grandma's gonna watch that. No, I don't. I think this is.
I don't know if anyone's grandma will know Rihanna.
I think this.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I think this is a good pick, but I also think it's a kind of a weird pick.
Well, think they don't have too many options, right? Because you're talking about the biggest American sporting event. So who are you going to get that is really relevant to the most viewers? And
You have to get
your
Mr.
options-
Beast out there to
No.
save
He's-
everybody's eyeballs.
He's irrelevant to anybody over the age of 35. No one even knows who that
I
is.
can't. Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm sure it'll be. I hope they have some amazing staging. That's the thing I like the most is when they do crazy stuff, like when they had like Katy Perry riding a lion. You know, like I'm into that kind of stuff.
If they were gonna go in the rock genre, who would they even get at
Fighters.
this point?
Probably.
It would be really hard considering they haven't even re-released their drummer yet, have they? They've said they're going to carry on as a band.
Have Foo Fighters never done it before?
I don't think they have.
I don't think so.
They had a big commercial for Crown Royal. Did you guys see that during the pro? Well, you don't watch
No.
commercials during the two games, the two pro. I can't even talk today. The two
championship game.
Yeah,
or
thank you.
Metallica, maybe.
Metallica would be good. Maybe a little too
Just be-
edgy though.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, I still think maybe because they're a little edgier than regular rock and roll. They're not Tom Petty, but like I think you could do Foo Fighters. They have partnered with Crown Royal, and then they put a date up there, and
Or Jack White.
and I don't know what that's. Man,
I feel like
he's such a weirdo.
Metallica's not relevant at all anymore. I feel.
Yeah,
like,
but a lot of the people they choose aren't relevant.
Yeah, but sometimes they.
Rihanna hasn't had a freaking album out in like
know,
10 years.
I know,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I guess you're right. Metallica probably still could
Just
do
it's
it
a
because
big name. Like everybody knows
Metallica,
Metallica.
Eagles.
Foo Fighters. No.
The Eagles are basically
yeah,
dead.
Yeah, they are dead.
Look, I'm trying to think of somebody.
they are dead.
I said
Um,
Foo. I mean, that's decent.
When does it start going to some sort of
Computer generated
Well, no, like
AI.
like like a Mr. Beast, because think
Like
about
an influencer instead
some
of
sort
music.
of influencer.
It's got to be close.
presentation. Well, I guess it's always got to be music, right?
Maneskin. What about that band?
That's too edgy.
When do we start? Does it have to be an American band?
Yeah.
It has to be an American band.
For the most, I mean, unless you two played it, I mean, so
The
that's
Who played.
yeah, they're not American, but it's got to be American relevant just from the audience standpoint. Anyway, it'll be in Arizona.
Yeah, we'll see.
So that'll be in 2 weeks. I know. Last but not least, we'll talk about the Pro Bowl this year. It's going to be a flag football game and a skills competition, which I'm glad they changed.
I thought they got your letter because wasn't that what you wanted it to be? Is
That's
just,
what
like, just have them screw around and have fun.
That's what everybody wanted it to be. But really, I feel like most people are going to consume the Pro Bowl and the skills competition through social media. It'll just be everybody will consume it through social media clips.
Yeah.
And everybody will
Clips of the stream will be just fine.
Yeah, everybody will watch big play. Like, I don't think anybody's glued to the TV watching the flag football game, but they'll watch plays and then they'll watch like whatever skills competition they have.
You know what's interesting that I've seen that Major League Baseball does? That's kind of interesting. That maybe what NFL's trying to do is MLB has kind of made their All-Star more of a fan installation type of vibe, where it's more of a destination to go there and be a part of it. And like you're saying, you share the clips, you see what your team's doing. Nobody's really playing, but you're getting to meet players, you're getting to see, you know what I mean? Like they make it more of a less of a like it even matters, but more of a almost like a party.
Yeah. Is
Like,
it
hey,
in Orlando again this year?
I believe so.
I don't know.
I think it is. Yeah, I think we're gonna have it for a bit.
Yeah. But
I could be wrong on that.
It's been in Orlando
Couple years.
the past couple years since
Yeah.
they moved it from Hawaii, but that's it lends it to your point of they want people to go and vacation in Orlando
Yeah.
and then just hang out and go to
The Atlanta
skills
Braves one
competition.
was cool. Like I could have driven up there and they offered me tickets as like a because
It
I
says Allegiant Stadium, which
What?
is Vegas.
Oh,
they
maybe
must
it
have
is
in
Vegas.
this
Yeah,
year.
it is Vegas this year. That's
Okay.
right. But the Atlanta Braves one was cool because you could buy tickets and you just drive up there and you get your hotel room and everything. And then they have a lot of things set up for you, like panels. They've made it like a Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Like we just kind of
For
go.
baseball fans.
Yeah, and I think that's brilliant because it gives me a place to go and spend money. You get and there were like autograph lines that are free. Stuff like that you want to do, and
Yeah,
then you're
yeah.
not there for some stupid game. The thing about the Pro Bowl that always sucked is you'd show up, and then the players you really wanted to see would never be there.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, you're not going to get Brady out there playing.
I'm not sure who is even in the flag football game that they're, but from what I've heard, a lot more players are interested in doing it because
The AFC team will be led by Peyton Manning, AFC head coach, Ray Lewis, AFC defensive coordinator, and Diana Flores, AFC offensive coordinator, while the NFC team will be Eli Manning, DeMarcus Ware will be the defensive coordinator, and Vanita Crouch will be the NFC offensive coordinator. So heavy hitter Manning, heavy hitter defensive coordinator, and then a lady assistant coach. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Make it fun. Make them trash
we'll
talk.
see.
Yeah, make them run around and grab flags and talk trash. It'll be fun.
We'll see what they do. Although you still run the risk of you cutting, running a route or whatever and blowing your ACL out.
Oh, my God. Andrea just put this in the chat room. Epic Pro Bowl Dodgeball, a multi-round tournament of classic dodgeball featuring 4 teams of 5 players that begin with the offense and defense from both conferences squaring off and culminates in an AFC and NFC showdown. That's great. I would watch that right now if they took it seriously.
Yeah.
The best NFL players playing dodgeball. I will watch that every night. If you
Yeah.
put a 30-minute show and I tune in on NBC, I'd watch that right now.
Dodgeball with non-professional dodgeball players is fun to watch, but I've seen the pro
They're so
dodgeball
good.
stuff.
Yeah, it's fast.
It's so good that it's boring
Yeah.
because they're
Ting, 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 ting,
it's
ting.
so technical that they're either not throwing the ball and trying to hit each other because they'll catch it easily.
Yeah, they do the catch thing.
It becomes a super like a game of chess.
It's like that professional tag. I can't watch that, man.
Yeah.
Gives me anxiety.
A lot of things on paper sound entertaining, and then the reality is not good.
Yeah, but watching these guys play it, and then it's like, oh, Chris Johnson, and then your D falls out while you're playing dodgeball. Hilarious.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more corporate time.
All right. That is Monday.
1 and 2.
1 and 2.
So Monday's done. You want to do a Tuesday 4? Just
Let's
okay.
do Tuesday 4, so we
We
get that
need
out of the way.
16.
And we'll just do voicemail.
All right. I just did those. Yeah, the last one Andrea put in. Gridiron Gauntlet, a side-by-side relay race showcasing strength, speed, and agility. 6 players from each conference will compete to see who finishes first and wins 3 points for the team. The 4-part gauntlet, each segment 40 yards in length, includes a series of breakaway walls, a section of climbing over walls, climbing under tables.
They're doing Wipeout.
Yeah, they're making it fun. But you're right. Some of these guys go too hard, blow out your ACL. You're done for
Well, hold on. Now, why aren't you making them do football like related?
Some of it is.
Yeah,
they're also putting in like fun, wacky stuff.
They're putting in like all the drills. It's like the drills they would do, but they're making it look fun. You know, like crawl under, crawl over is still a drill. I would go to that and watch that.
Like, I just want to see who. I guess at a certain point they'll hurt themselves if like you see who the strongest, like who's the strongest player in the NFL bench press wise, right? Like, but I guess you could blow your pec out or something if you put up too much weight, and you know that
you said blow your pecker out.
Yeah, you blow your pecker out, man.
Like,
put that thing away.
Aaron Donald claims he could bench press 500 pounds. Like, I'd like to see him do that, you know. And is someone stronger than him? Who weighs the most? Like, I would like to know that. You know what I'm saying? Who's the
punter for the Steelers? He weighs the most.
Like.
All right. How long did you say, Sam?
16.
Okay. Let me pee real fast, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
OT prospect Daniel Falal, heavier than any NFL player at 384 pounds.
Wow, almost 400 pounds.
He is 6'8".
That's ridiculous. You know how big that human is? You're 6'8", 380 pounds.
That's insane.
And it's, that's a shit ton of muscle. All these guys in the NFL, like you stand next, even like back in the Predators days, like in the offensive line of the Predators, these guys were gigantic human beings.
We're not doing a Super Bowl watch this year, are we? We haven't talked about it. You having a party?
No, I don't think so. I got invited to some Super Bowl parties stuff, but
you hate fun.
No, it's not that. I'd rather just
sit at home,
watch it with my sons, so I could explain it to them, and they get all pissed that I'm talking too much.
I'll be staying at home as well. Trav has his surgery the Friday before. He's going to be laid up for 2 weeks.
Yeah, let me get.
I forgot you guys just sit in here silently when I go pee, and that's funny to me.
I tried to stir up some conversation.
No, you can't. He can't be done. Don't talk to him. He doesn't like that.
Otherwise, he'll just stare at his soda silently.
I'm thinking.
I know.
He's his thinking box. All right. 16.
16.
16. Let me get these voicemails. All right. I had some good ones this morning. If I had a nickel for the number of men that write me where they forgot they signed up for a second BDM account, I'd be rich. I'll start. Here we go. 3, 2, Welcome back to a corporate time. How about voicemails?
Yep.
Piping hot.
Let's do it.
Voicemail. I started saying the phrase piping hot. I make a lot of popcorn in the Dennis household, and Maisie now calls popcorn piping hot.
All right.
I am trying to give little southern phrases to her to use, so she'll be like, "Come, Dad, there's piping hot." I'm trying to, keep her small world, kind of, keep her dumb. Let's try this one. It's in regard to football picks.
So, Tom, early in the season, the football season, you picked Bills Vikings for the Super Bowl. How do you feel about those picks now? I'm just starting the championship games here on Sunday, so I don't know where it's going, who's going to win, and who's going to be in it. But
How do you think he feels?
Well, yeah. How do you feel now? Well, anybody could have predicted anything. You throw out two teams and you hope, hopefully I'm right. Just based on what we knew back then.
There you go.
Possible
Take that.
to know. Did anybody pick? Like, did
What
you
were your
pick?
picks? What were your picks? I'm gonna start saying
Eagles,
this to listeners,
Chiefs?
and they're like, "Meh, meh, meh." I'm like, "Well, what do? You piece of crap."
And then what I also hate is I hate this with the parlays too, or
I hate the word parlay.
I do too.
It stinks.
But
I
it
hate it. It sounds like It sounds like a little hat you'd wear.
It makes news like this person hit a 17-team parlay and won this much money, and then it's like, yeah, well, someone won the lottery too. Who cares?
Oh.
None of them is like it doesn't mean anything. It just means they lucked out. They won the lottery.
Nothing means
Like,
anything.
yeah.
You know that.
It's like you pick two teams at the beginning
Nothing
of the
matters.
season. Someone in the media picked Chiefs Eagles to play in the Super Bowl.
Why
because
did you
just
pick Vikings? There's a Viking fan
threw out
in the
there.
chat room that wants to know why you picked Vikings.
Are you sure I was Vikings? I thought I was Eagles.
I
thought
thought it
I
was
picked
Eagles. I don't
know.
Eagles
I don't
Bills.
know.
I honestly
There's no
believe.
way I remember.
I look, man. I love to
Pull
goof
the
on
tape.
him. I love to goof
It was on
him.
Nerd Jock, and
I think it was Eagles Bills. I think he did say Eagles Bills.
because at the beginning of the playoffs, I was like, man, I think the Eagles are going to make it, and the Bills have a good chance. So I was good, and then I was going to go back and find that Nerd
Too
Jock. where I
tired
said
though.
that.
Too
Yeah,
tired
yeah.
to do it.
Polk County Fire says nope. He said the trash Eagles. Or, I'm sorry, Vikings. And then they said you definitely didn't say Eagles. Nobody said Eagles.
Why did he say Vikings? That's weird that he would have said Vikings.
I don't know.
And what was in your head at that time? I wonder what the pundits were saying. What was going on in Viking land?
Yeah, you were listening to some podcast.
Something.
that
Somebody
told
got in
you.
your ear.
No, there was.
It's like me when I got on that QAnon, man. I was in it hard.
There
But
were.
then, they told me.
There were certain bettors that were excited about the Vikings, and they did decent this year. But they were thinking that because they got a new coach, and it's a new offensive-minded coach, that they had the team and Cousins and Cook and Jefferson, and they just had the players.
We'll go
so
back and
positive
find
make
it. We'll go back and make sure.
I thought I said Eagles
We'll
though
go
because
back.
Eagles was another.
Well, this guy knows. This guy needs to tell us which episode it was, and then I'll pull it.
But I
No,
could've-
we'll go back and
I
find
could've
anybody.
said
I'm with Tom. Anybody can say anything. We'll go back and find it. We'll make sure we'll play it.
Also, the weirder the team, when they make it, you seem like a genius. Like
Right.
you know,
You're
like
I knew it.
yeah.
Ooh, look at this. No one knew it.
So, and it could have been Bengals. I mean,
Say Bengals, please.
what?
Bengals?
Bengals?
No, Bengals.
Bengals.
There you go.
That's what I said. Bengals.
No, you're saying Bengals
Oh,
like
no.
bang, like bang, like Diamond Dallas Page, bang, self high five. That's Bengals. You're saying Bengals. It's Bengals.
Bengals?
It's a Bengal.
It's a bingle.
It's a Bengal.
It's a Bengals.
Not Bengals?
Bengals.
Look at how it's spelled.
It's not a bangle. A bangle is a bracelet
Yeah,
that teen
yeah.
girls wear at Hot Topic. That's a bangle.
I think you can say Cincinnati Bengals.
Well, you can't. You don't live in Cincinnati. If you lived in Cincinnati, I might give
Bengals?
you the, yeah,
It's
Bengals.
Bengals?
Bengals.
Stupid. No, next voicemail.
Hey everybody, I heard Dan say something that I say on this week's Friday pre-show. He said,
Oh, we're getting
It's
corrected.
an
Hold on.
advanced move.
Now we're getting told it's not the Bengals either. Yeah, like a Bengal tiger. A Bengal.
How's it
not
pronounced?
Bing, Ben. It's B-E-N.
I'm saying Bengal.
Bengals.
Now you said it, but you were saying
Oh, we're saying
Bing.
a Bengal?
You were saying Bing like the search engine.
like the search engine.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
Google.
It's Bengals.
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 Like the man's name, Ben.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Like Equity Ben. Like our good friend Equity
Bengals.
Bengals. Yeah, Bengal. Like
Cincinnati
a,
Bengals.
You take a seagull, you knock the C off, and you put Equity Ben on there, knock the equity off, Bengal. There. Is that fine? Is that what you wanted, chat room and people that listen to the show?
Okay, you know what? This is a crazy tangent thought, but
That's fine.
Arrowhead Stadium is
That's what we do.
sponsored by the. Have you seen?
No.
It's called the. It's some sort of government healthcare agency.
Oh, it's
but
sponsored by Obamacare?
It's the look it up. Look up Arrowhead Stadium. It's 4 letters. And then it's stadium.
AARP?
No. It's government healthcare.
Is it GEHA?
Yes,
GEHA, yeah, it's GEHA Stadium. And I looked at that. Maybe that's the whole point, is that people then search what it means and then they know. But it's essentially healthcare for government workers that I guess you pay into or whatever.
GEHA. All right.
And
Never heard
Government
of that.
Employees Health Association.
Yeah, it's just an odd, because no one knows what that means when they see it, right? And everybody's like me, and they have to search it. Or does someone?
I don't care.
I had never heard of it.
I never
Look, I don't have health insurance. I don't care if the government does.
This is gonna make people mad, and maybe some businesses. But I hope the new owner of the Orlando City, anybody that owns sports is listening. Arthur Blank, if you're listening, I don't care who sponsors your stadium, and I think it's stupid. It should be your stadium. It shouldn't be sponsored by anything. It should be yours. No, I understand that.
But at least
it's dumb. Like Orlando City Stadium used to be Orlando City Stadium. It will always be Orlando City Stadium. I will never call it whatever that thing is.
What is it?
It's some sort of timeshare BS or something, right? Like some sort of vacation club. No, sir. Not my stadium. I'll never call it that. I'll die.
Is it vacation?
Exploria, right?
No, never. I'll never call it Exploria Stadium.
Yeah, nobody calls it
I
that.
thought it switched to something else. I thought it got bought out. I'll never call Camping World. Never. I will never do that.
No.
Citrus World. Citrus Bowl. I'll never call it any of that. I'll never do that.
At least Camping World, you're like, I get it. I get what it is. With the other one, anyway.
All right, let's try this one.
Hey everybody, I heard Dan say something that I say on this week's Friday pre-show. He said that that's an advanced move, but it was like in reference to something gross. But that's something that I say, and there's like several other things that I say
Wow.
that my wife says nobody else says. Like I call
God, you people in your Yeti Cups, man.
Gum, like a slice of gum. It is a slice of gum. That's weird.
Yeah, I do say. I do
a lot of
say-
ASMR going on
I
right
can't
now.
listen to that. I can't listen to that.
Wait, you're walking through the forest
With
with
your
a
Yeti Cup, like any
of
good
ice?
Florida man, there's always got his Yeti Cup with some sort of Mountain Dew and whiskey in it
I've
or something.
never heard any human being say a slice of gum.
I think I've said a slice of gum.
have-
Really?
Yeah, give me a slice of gum, because it's a slice. Stick of gum?
Yeah,
Stick
yeah.
or piece? Piece
Yeah.
of
Piece
gum?
of gum?
Yeah, I've heard piece and I've heard stick. I've never heard slice.
Did I say that? I don't remember saying.
Pizzas
I don't
come in
know.
slice.
Yeah.
Pies come in slice.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Gum comes in stick
Stick of gum
or piece. A piece.
You know, when somebody fucks something up real good, I say something like, oh, that's an advanced move, or like, I bust out like this, like.
All right.
Okay, yeah, I can't listen
My
to you.
God,
I can't-
sir.
I can't listen to you at your. You know what? People are not mindful. You know what that is? I think people are not mindful of their headphones. I was in the grocery store with my wife together, like yesterday. We were picking up some stuff together and walking around, and we were the only 2 people in the grocery store without headphones in, and it felt weird.
Like Bluetooth.
Yeah, it felt like
AirPods
everybody
or-
was under mind control, and we were the only people aware. If something was going down in that store at that time, we would have been the only people running out the door. It's crazy how many people use headphones. I don't know if it's a bad thing. Look, I'm rooting for y'all because you got me in your earphones, but it does look weird to go places and see people just interacting with headphones in and not in their own world. That's a weird thing. We have normalized it, but that's a weird thing, man. Because everybody's in their own little world just kind of doing their thing, you know,
Yeah.
and like nobody knows what's going on
That's
around them.
fine.
The machete man could be right behind you.
No, you only have one.
No,
in.
these
Everybody knows
people-
you only keep one in.
I swear to God, Andrea's in the chat room. She'll back me up. We were the only 2 people in Publix. Old ladies had them in, construction workers, everybody. Over the ear, in the ear.
Well,
It was crazy to me.
it is concerning, and I fall into this category where if I have to do any sort of task like clean the house
Just be
or
quiet.
dishes or
Just
whatever,
do it in your own
no,
head.
I have to get earbuds or AirPods to listen to
Nah,
something
you
while
gotta-
I work.
Yeah.
You
I
gotta
can't
get in
just
your own head, man, and do the math. And what do you think I do? I stay in there with all the craziness. and
Well.
I just ruminated.
Look how that's working out.
It works great.
Because I'm like I need entertainment while I do this.
Well, that's not bad.
No, I know.
People needing constant entertainment, that's not a bad
That's
thing.
what the society we live in now, and I'm worried about him. Like especially Max. Tommy can do this weird thing where he'll
Shut his brain off and just lay in a corner or something.
No,
Like,
he can date. He can actively daydream as a thing to do. Like
Yeah,
he'll.
I can do that.
Like we're doing something. And,
That's what I mean.
And
I
then
mean,
is
you
what I'm
do that
talking
too.
Yeah, you can do
Literally,
it.
you just did it during the break.
But this
No.
is what I'm talking about. You just need to apply your active daydream to win your sweeping and mopping.
But I don't know if that was something, and it had to be something that we were born with, me and Tommy, because Tommy and Max had the same amount of screen time and stuff through growing up or whatever. So it's not like Tommy learned it without it. Because my point being, Max can't do that, and when Max has nothing to entertain him, he feels it. Like, and he's like, I don't know what to do. He's like, what do I
Really?
do? It's boring. And then I'm like, you got to entertain yourself because we have a limit on the amount of screen time. And then he has a hard time doing that. And I worry that it's because there is a crutch of something that will auto-entertain you for an unlimited amount of time that you can go to.
Yeah.
And I do it now where I'll go to my phone or I'll go to like my earbuds or AirPods when anytime I have to, like, I don't want to, I'll go to, it's free entertainment.
Yeah,
I have unlimited podcasts
yeah.
to listen to. I have
From the best authors and the greatest minds in the world.
if I'm sitting in a waiting room, I will look at my phone and
Yeah.
scroll through.
And it's the highest level. What I
Yeah.
mean by that is you can literally in seconds find some of the greatest books and journals and magazine articles written of all time and beam it directly into your ears. I mean, you have the top tier stuff.
I've curated my TikTok to only give me mini videos of stuff I'm interested in. And so every video I scroll
proud of you.
through, every third one is something that actually I'm like interested in.
Yeah.
Like, so my algorithm has gotten pretty good and entertaining for me.
I'm glad that you're into it, man. I can't do it. It doesn't hold me.
You got to search the stuff that you're interested in. That's what I did. I constantly just kept searching the stuff, and then it curated a better algorithm for me. So now it's more addictive.
Do you follow? You don't follow anybody, do you?
No.
Yeah.
But I
Thanks
may.
for the follow, bud.
I may
think I
follow
follow you. I think
I
I
can't
follow
remember. I don't.
Once you
post
found
it.
out about my hiking videos, you started following
Yeah, those
me.
dried up
We'll
quick.
talk about that
though.
on the
Those
media
dried
show.
up quick.
Well, people make comments about my burgers.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. You ruined the videos. I was in there secretly creeping, and you took it all away.
But that is man, that's your brain is addicted to that because you can't just sit with your own thoughts.
I'm fine with
anymore, you know.
I'm okay. I like sitting.
Hey, it's there. I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's what people said about cigarettes until our lungs started turning black, I guess, right? I mean, like, you're going to find out at some point it's not good for you. And I think we already know
I
it.
do a lot of things that aren't good for me. I think TikTok's the least of it.
But I mean,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm not talking about
Screen
TikTok.
time
I'm
or
talking about,
entertainment.
like, always being entertained.
And it does seem like
I think
because
it's
I'm only
bad.
here for a limited amount of time. I might as well be entertained.
it seems like all.
I mean, I guess.
Like I have a ongoing experiment that I'm watching with these kids and their screens right now, and so I'm looking at all my friends' kids and everybody, and it seems like yes, they're addicted to them, and if you gave them the opportunity to be on them, they'd just be on them all day, right? But when they're off of them and they're actually playing with each other and out there
They're
and whatever,
normal.
then it's not like they can't stay away from it. They're distracted and they're fine. So it seems like just like the chemical addiction. And I know like your brain releases chemicals when you get something you like. But I'm talking like the opiate addictions or like the real bad Xanax or alcohol or whatever. Like, when you're introducing a chemical, that is real bad. But when it's like a mental addiction, it seems like you could break it faster, and it's not as it doesn't grab a hold of you as much, right?
Yeah, I
because
think-
I'm watching the kids and they seem to be fine with it. Now they'll want it later,
Yeah.
but
When I lean into the wanting it, I've noticed with Maisie when she's using the screen time a lot, when she's kind of actively in it, and maybe we're being a little bit lazy and we're just giving it to her because we got stuff going on.
Yeah.
I've noticed her behavior and the way that she acts changes, and I can only think that you have to apply that same thing to adults. It doesn't change that much. I think it adds to your anxiety level. I think it adds to.
Well, it depends on what you're consuming. If you're consuming,
it does, but I think just overall it does, because I think you are putting the emphasis of your brain power into something that's completely artificial and not real, instead of putting the emphasis of your brain power into other humans or real connections that are authentic, that's where I think it breaks down.
Yeah,
Is that like, you're looking at it, but what are you really looking at? I mean, there's nothing really real there.
But I guess you can make the argument if you're not looking at social media, it's not like you're going out there and talking to other humans. You're just doing nothing or watching TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not.
No, that's what I mean.
you
Is
know.
you would have to be out there, like, in trying to enjoy your life, or like meeting other people, having authentic,
But people aren't choosing that
No,
over.
they're not.
Yeah, it's just so they're just gonna go to the endless scroll of social media, which is
Which
kind
I
of
think
a
a
nothing.
lot, and a lot of it's set up though for, and that can be the danger in that is that a lot of that is set up for nefarious ways. A lot of the reason you're there to begin with, like, let's look at like Mr. Beast, and this is too long of a thing to talk about right now, but like even him getting you there is sort of a trick. With, hey, I made the thumbnail look like this, I made the colors look like this, I made that look like that. Well, just by the base level of what he's creating, it's unauthentic, which is what I think, oh man, what are you putting into your brain?
It's also where TikTok got it right in the fact that I really do, and they dumbed it down where they don't even give you the option to choose unless you can search or whatever. But it's just like scroll to the next, like let someone else choose and with the algorithm what I'm gonna see.
Yeah.
And it's a surprise. It's kind of like how porno works or whatever. It's like next next page.
It all comes back to porno.
You're just constantly searching for the next best thing. You're like next video, swipe, endless scroll of what's next. Maybe the next one's better than this one.
When does it get to a point where it's like hyper specifically small, or does it pendulum backwards because we get tired of digesting, or maybe we can't? Does it reach a point where it's just we can't, or maybe adults, you age out of it because it's too small? Is that's what's happening to me? Do I require things that are larger form? So that's why I can't get into it, because I'm like, this sucks. I can't get into this. There's nothing there.
It's all
Maybe,
subjective.
yeah.
Does it keep getting tinier and tinier?
Well,
TikTok actually expanded theirs because
Right.
theirs was like I think 1 minute. Now it's like
Yeah,
up to
they
3.
went to like 3.
I was watching a longer form, like Bill Simmons interview with Tom Hanks. It was on TikTok, and it was like, I mean, it seemed 3 minutes. It was a chunkier video, and I sat there and watched it because I was like, oh, look at it. And like Tom Hanks was telling the story about Castaway and like how it got
long do
made or
you
whatever.
think either of you spend on TikTok a day?
Depends on the day.
You think you spend an hour?
I have before. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll spend half an hour scrolling.
Maybe
through
not
it.
all at one time. Not
Right,
sit
right.
there for an hour.
Because,
but-
no, I don't think anybody could do that.
Because now it is mini videos about
I
current
did it at
events
Jiffy
that are
Lube. I did it at the
happening.
library. I did it. We were waiting here right before dinner.
I get a lot of my news from TikTok
Yeah,
now.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'll get stuff that's going around in our culture, and I'll be able to consume what's been happening in entertainment or sports or things that I'm interested in, and it'll give me a little bit of like some of the podcasts I listen to, like little interviews with the celebrities and that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Gotcha.
it'll give me a little screenshot,
A little bit of everything.
curated videos of a little bit of everything, and then
I
I'll
just
kind of
get jiggly boobs and then I turn it off.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's where it goes to. What we were talking about is you get to the point where you'll be able to share your algorithm with other people. But I think that's coming, where it's like you'll be able to have this entertainment algorithm that's yours personally,
Right.
and you'll be able to share it with.
Probably be protected too. You'll have to protect that algorithm. It'll be currency. Could be.
It would.
What if your own personal algorithm becomes almost like your own digital personality? Isn't that what
that
it
could
is?
be. Yeah.
Is that how you live forever?
It's what you prefer to consume. It tells you a lot about who that person is or what their
God,
interests
I'm
are,
really
right?
old, man. While you guys are doing this and curating your algorithms, I go to Google and just type in what I like, and then a bunch of stuff comes up, and then I just start clicking. I'm old school.
Hold on, how'd you become old school? And
I'm
me and
old-
Sam are.
I'm
I don't
old
know,
school.
man.
I just can't, there is nothing, TikTok does not hold my attention. I'm in there and I see it, and I'm like, this is a bucket of It's literally.
You made the turn, Tom,
it's
because you were
endless
hating on it at
trash.
first too,
To
and
me,
now
it's just
you're a TikTok
endless
boy.
trash. When I scroll, it's just
Yeah.
nothing but trash. And I see news.
Well, you got to
but
get rid
here's
of the trash.
difference.
Get
Yeah,
rid
you
of the
gotta get rid of
trash.
the
I see the news, but the news is always curated for me by some justice warrior who's telling me the way to feel about it. I'm not into that. Just give me the news.
You got to curate your algorithm. That's
I
that's
got-
where you
I
got.
got-
Doing it wrong.
I
Yeah.
got guys from the left yelling at me, and I got guys on the right yelling at me. I'm like, look,
Yeah.
I don't want any of you guys.
No, yeah.
And then they had jiggly boobs. Back to jiggly boobs.
Yeah.
Those, I'm okay with that, but I can't be watching that. I got a kid.
You're not doing it right. You got to get in there and you got to search like 10 things a day.
Oh my
and-
god, that's too much work.
No, you just do it for a week and then it'll curate it for you.
I'll try.
Anyway.
I'll try it. Andrea's in there listening. She will help me, and I will try. This week, I will dedicate myself to molding the algorithm of my TikTok to see if I can get it better.
Well, you're not really into anything, so what are you gonna?
Yeah, I'm into a lot of things. 3D printing, video
Yeah.
games, football I love, scooters I love, West Highland
Yeah,
Terriers.
search all that.
Shoes.
It'll be all videos and stuff you're interested in.
Okay, I'm
and
going to do it.
It'll work.
I'm going to do it.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, great. Got it.
We went too long. Shit.
Yeah, but I think it's fine.
Yeah, it is fine. It
Um,
was 16. There's
yeah.
a buffer there for 4, so we're good. You're good. Don't worry about it. It was my fault because I was like, well, this is too much to talk now, but I'm going to do it anyway. All right, that is Tuesday.
4.
4. Where are you, Tuesday? Man. Okay. Thank you. And it is lunchtime, right?
Yep.
We'll be back.
I'm going to do some of that TikTok during my lunch. See you on Facebook, y'all.
Yeah, we'll be on the BDM Facebook page for the BDM